Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be planting garlic, and there is a process for preparing the garlic to go in the ground. You have the whole bulbs, you got to break those up into cloves, and then you can take those out and put those in the ground. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to give you like a 2-minute tour of where the fall garden is, and then where we're going to put the garden in relationship to that, and then we are going to go through the process of preparing the garlic to go in the ground. Okay, so here's our parsnips. We pulled the carrots already. The carrots turned out like absolutely fantastic. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here so you can see these parsnips. And they're really doing well. And we decided just to leave them in the ground and see how that works out. And we may pull one just to see how they're doing. The parsnips are there. And then right here, what you've got is 2 rows of broccoli, and you can see the broccoli is doing well also for the time that it is. And we got a couple of holes, couple of spots where it didn't take, but it is what it is. This is what we have. Then we got 3 rows of cabbage. So you can see the cabbage here, here, and here. And that looks like it's doing really well. This is all stuff that that Debbie seed started. And you come here and you've got kale. Or actually you've got collards, my bad. You got collards. So what this row here is stuff that Debbie seed started under grow lights in our dining room. And you can see that the collard, those are doing really well. And then this is stuff that she direct sowed into the ground. The first part of this row, probably the first, I don't know, looks like 5 feet-ish, is she started sowing kale in there and didn't realize it until she said, oh, daggone it, I gotta. So she went back and sowed collards and the direct sow collards, and they're really doing well too. The people say you need to go in and thin them out. We're gonna try to not do that and see how it does. Then here what you have is a row of kale that Debbie seed started, and it's doing pretty well as well. This is curly kale, and so it is it's coming along really well. We'll probably have this and the collards right after the first frost. So we probably got, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks before we can even think we're going to get a frost, but you never know. Anyway, that's doing pretty well. And then over here, this last row here is the direct sow kale. This is not curly kale, a variety, but it's okay. We like kale, so we'll see how that comes out. Now this part here, we had reserved for the garlic, and went in and just kind of tilled it up a little bit with a hand tiller that we have just a little while ago. And this is where the garlic is going to go. So we are going to now show the process of getting the garlic ready to go in the ground. One thing I want to mention before we get really into it is after we plant this, in a little bit, when it starts to get chillier, you need to cover this stuff with compost mulch, straw, a couple of inches of it, so to keep the ground from freezing and causing you problems over the winter. All right, this is what we're planting today. It took a long time for it to come in the mail, but this is from Annie's Heirloom Seeds Organic Chestnut Red Garlic Bulbs. And if you know the Latin pronunciation, there it is. And then we're basically going to put them into the ground. So on that label that I showed you a minute ago, if you take it off the bag, we do have planting instructions. Separate the garlic cloves from the bulb. Plant cloves into furrows about 3 inches deep and at least 6 inches apart, with the tip of the clove pointed up and the root side down. And you'll be able to tell that when you, in fact, I'll show them to you. Bury with 1 inch of soil and cover with 3 to 6 inches of mulch. Harvest when plants have 5 full green leaves remaining, or 50% of the leaves have died from the bottom. That's her instructions for doing these. Here's the cloves, the whole cloves, or excuse me, the whole bulb as they come out of the ground. And this is what is in the bags that you're looking at. And these all get broken up. Broken up into individual cloves.
Okay, the big thing is when you're trying to separate these cloves off of each bulb, is that you like, I've got a butter knife here just to try to start it with, because you don't want to cut the clove. See, that one peeled.
So does we have to use that one?
Well, I'm going to use it, but you want to try to avoid that because it can rot, but I'm not going to waste it. You want to try to have minimal ones that are peeled as possible. If they do come, the skin comes off, you can still plant it, which I'm going to do, because sometimes you just can't avoid it coming off when you're separating them. But just know that it could rot. I guess you could eat it if you wanted, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just plant it and hope for the best on these. I have planted them before like that, and they've done all right. But you do want to try to keep as much skin on them as possible. Just want to be a little delicate when you take them apart. Once you crack them open like that, you can. And depending upon how many cloves you have, that's, you know, each clove will equal another bulb. So then you know how many you planted.
Well, that's pretty good, because that means you're going to get, what, 6 or 7 more bulbs out of each bulb that you've planted from the cloves.
Right. Put those there so it doesn't blow.
The breeze wants
So
to
this
blow
would
the...
be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there, that's 19 bulbs of garlic.
Cloves of garlic.
Bulbs. That each one of these is going to grow one of these. So that's 19 bulbs that we're going to end up with if they, you know, if they all make it. And I've only on my second one.
So 19, you got like 9 out of each one. 9 cloves out of each one.
Done.
Oh, so there's a lot of cloves
Yeah, the
in
next
each
one
bulb.
I'll count, see how many are in each. This bottom piece here, you don't want that. Yeah, that can be thrown away.
Or put in your compost.
Yeah.
And we are going to do a video. We don't know when exactly, but we are going to do a video about using your kitchen waste type stuff in a compost bin to just, it's just added extra goodness for your garden.
So there's 14 in there.
That's pretty good. 14 cloves inside of that one bulb. So you're going to translate that into 14 bulbs.
Yes, and the thing too, like we were growing our own garlic. We started it a few years ago, but then I really messed up because I planted it too late, and so it didn't do anything. And once you buy the initial bulbs, if you save, once they grow and you harvest them in the early summer, late spring, early summer, because these will overwinter, you can save enough cloves and replant them again. So it's like it's almost like you buy them one time. I messed up last year and planted them late, so we lost that. So we had to buy them again. But you just want to make sure you set apart. Like I saved the biggest bulbs when we harvest them, and to plant again in the fall. So it's really cool. And not only that, but the garlic learns your ground and your soil, and it gets bigger and stronger and every year. Because the first year I planted it, they were really small that came out. But then after that, they just started getting bigger and bigger, and so even though it is costly, like these were from Annie's. 1 pound was $32.50. So that would have been one of those bags. And that's a lot of money, but if you figure, you know, garlic runs 99 cents a pound, and it's, if you do it the correct way, you only have to buy it once.
So is this hard neck or soft neck?
This is soft neck, I believe. I'm pretty sure. I don't know for sure.
We started with hard neck, and the word was that hard neck doesn't hold up as well as soft neck. We did not find that to be the case. Debbie braided the garlic. We had 3 or 4 braids, and she braided the garlic, and we used it just about the entire year before it started, or it ran out.
Yeah, and also if you have too much garlic, or it starts to go, like you could tell, because when you harvest it fresh out of the ground, it's really crunchy and solid, versus like the stuff you buy in the store is really soft. That's just because it's old. And when you, like, if it starts to look like it's going to go bad or on you, you can put it in the dehydrator and dehydrate it, and then put it in the blender, and you've got garlic powder.
I spared you the tedious process of going through and doing them all since I filmed. There's, what did I say, 456?
Yeah.
456 cloves in there. So that's the remnants. That's what's going to go into the ground right there. So next move is to plant them 6 inches apart and 3 inches deep. So I'm not going to go through the entire thing on video, but what I've done here is I've taken this stick, and it's just a couple feet long, and I marked 3 inches on it, and I'm just going to stick it down along the contours of these rows right here, and they need to be about 6 inches apart and 3 inches deep. So I'm gonna record it, and Debbie's gonna come behind me, and she's gonna drop the garlic in the holes that I'm gonna create with this stick. Brief pause here just to show you that when you're planting these cloves, this is the root side. This is on the bottom, and this little top here. That's what you want to. That's the orientation. You want to plant it with that up, the pointy end up, and then the little root part down. Oh, that's a good shot. All right, it's all in, and now we wait, and we harvest in theory around next May before it gets really warm. All right, so that's the garlic saga. We've got it all in the ground, and now we see how it'll do over the winter. It'll do fine over the winter. It's designed to plant in the fall, or at least around here it works really well. We've done this before, and it works great. So thank you for visiting Variety Homestead, and I hope you have a great one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.